Hi guys, hope you're all well. This is the last. Today we'll study the anastomosis around the elbow joint. Let's get started. Guys, what is anastomosis basically? Anastomosis is basically joining of the blood vessels and providing a collateral channel for circulation. Collateral means if it can't go through here, it will go through here. That is basically what anastomosis is. See guys, anastomosis around the elbow joint is basically, this is the most basic diagram. Like if you learn this, it becomes really easy to learn the anastomosis. See here, there is brachial artery and it's given the branch profunda brachii. Brachial artery, profunda brachii, and the terminal branches of the brachial artery are radial and ulnar artery. See, alternate channel between these branches is basically what is the anastomosis around the elbow joint. Now let's study that in detail. Guys, see here, I will be dividing it into medial and lateral aspects, and among them anterior and posterior. It becomes easy to remember then. See, let's start with the medial aspect. See guys, in the medial aspect there is see here, let's start with the back ones. See, there is a humerus, there is a medial aspect, then that medial epicondyle, anterior aspect, posterior aspect. Now we are studying the posterior aspect over there. What vessels are anastomosing? Basically in this region. See here, superior ulnar collateral artery. Where did we study that? This is one of the branches. It is also having a girlfriend, that is the ulnar nerve, isn't it? So it comes with the ulnar nerve and goes behind the medial epicondyle of the humerus, isn't it? Guys, and we have this here. What is this? This is the medial intermuscular septum, isn't it? It is a layer, band of deep fascia which becomes more prominent below the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle, and this artery, superior ulnar collateral, is going behind the medial intermuscular septum, isn't it? Now see here, if it is coming here in this region, do you think it will get a branch from radial artery or the ulnar artery? Which is more convenient? As you look at this, ulnar artery is more convenient, isn't it? So there's a branch from ulnar artery which is anastomosing. See guys, do you think the artery is going like this, but this is coming like this? Can we call it a recurrent branch? Yes, it is a recurrent branch. Now the superior ulnar collateral artery is behind the medial epicondyle, posterior to the medial epicondyle. Do you think the anterior branch will anastomose or the posterior branch? Usually posterior they will anastomose easily, isn't it? So there is posterior ulnar recurrent branch here. This is the posterior ulnar recurrent branch from ulnar artery which is anastomosing with the superior ulnar recurrent artery, superior ulnar collateral artery, isn't it? So that was the first set. Now what is the artery in the front? See here guys, artery in the front is the inferior ulnar collateral artery, the single artery, isn't it? The very happy single artery going over the trochlea, also known as the supratrochlear artery. It is going in front of the medial epicondyle. Now see here guys, the posterior ulnar recurrent anastomose with the posterior artery. Now this artery is anterior, isn't it? So what branch will anastomose? Anterior ulnar recurrent. Why is it recurrent? Because it's going back, isn't it? And it is anterior, so anterior ulnar recurrent, and the inferior ulnar collateral, they both are anastomosing in front of the medial epicondyle. This was the second set guys, the inferior ulnar collateral and the anterior ulnar recurrent. Where is it? In front of the medial epicondyle. Now in the lateral aspect there is lateral epicondyle, isn't it? This is the lateral epicondyle. So let's start with the back arteries. The back arteries is the, see here guys, the brachial artery has one beautiful biggest branch, isn't it? Which is that? Can you tell me? That is the profunda brachii artery, isn't it? It is coming like this, isn't it? And it is going posterior to the humerus in the radial groove. And what does that do after coming here? After coming here, it gives out two branches. Okay, the anterior descending and the posterior descending branches of profunda brachii artery, isn't it? Now see here, there is something else here. What is it? That is the lateral intermuscular septum. So the anterior descending branch goes front of it, posterior descending branch goes back of it. Now if the see, let's study the back artery first. See here guys, the artery is coming like this. This is the back artery. Okay, it is behind the medial intermuscular septum, and it is coming, and it anastomoses here with what? Guys, see here, in the back there is something interesting happening here. We have the ulnar artery now. This is the ulnar artery now. there is something called as common interosseous artery. Why interosseous artery? Because there is interosseous membrane here. So the common interosseous artery comes here and gives out the anterior branch called the anterior interosseous, and the posterior branch called the posterior interosseous artery. So they both come and they divide into two. Common interosseous divides into anterior and posterior and supplies the anterior and posterior compartment of the forearm muscles there, and the forearm basically. So there is posterior interosseous artery now. See here, guys. This was the posterior interosseous artery. From the posterior interosseous artery, there is a branch here. What do you call that branch? See here, you can see here now. That is the interosseous recurrent branch, interosseous artery. Which artery? The posterior interosseous artery. The posterior interosseous artery is giving an interosseous recurrent branch. See guys, the arteries which are distal, they have to give a recurrent branch if they has to anastomose now. So that is given by the posterior interosseous artery. So the interosseous recurrent branch and the posterior descending branch, they both anastomose at the medial epicondyle behind. Now see guys, that was the posterior descending branch. Now we have the anterior descending branch now. Anterior descending branch anastomosis with what? See, which is the more convenient artery? Is it the ulnar artery or the radial artery in the lateral aspect? It is the radial artery. So the radial artery is also giving a recurrent branch. That is called as the radial recurrent branch. Radial artery, radial recurrent. That is anastomosing in front of it. Okay guys, this was anastomosis around the elbow basically. Now one of the important and most confused arteries is the common interosseous artery. This one, common interosseous artery, is a branch of ulnar artery, and common interosseous nerve is a continuation of radial nerve. Most people get confused. So how I used to remember this is, guys, common interosseous artery, CIA. Where have you heard CIA? CIA is a spy agency in America, isn't it? America, we can remember it as USA. USA. So CIA is a branch of USA, isn't it? So like common interosseous artery is a branch of ulnar artery. You can remember like this if you buy. Now guys, why do we need an anastomosis around the elbow? See here guys, the artery supplying the arm is a brachial artery. It divides into radial and ulnar. It's mostly in the anterior aspect. Now if I fold my elbow like this, see, it's basically compressing the brachial artery. So if I hold like this for some 10 days, do you think my arm will die here? No, it won't die because of the anastomosis around elbow. There are collateral channels here which are supplying the arm, my forearm and the hand, even if my elbow is flexed and brachial artery is occluded. That is one of the importance of brachial artery anastomosis, guys. Okay, if you have any doubts, please post it in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer you. Take care guys. Bye.